My name is Karen, and I'm going to talk just briefly about preparing your garden, getting the initial steps to when you go out and decide that you're going to plant a garden. Excuse me. So the first thing is, do you have a space for a vegetable garden in your yard? You have to make sure, as Mark very helpfully explained, about the loose, well-drained soil. You can't go out and just start sticking things into our Virginia clay, but so it takes a while to amend it. So you have to find a place that's got that kind of soil, and they need at least 6 hours of sun. 8 to 10 is even better. Make sure it's not in a low spot. That tends to get boggy. I'm looking out the window right now and I'm seeing very boggy areas that are in a low spot. And I know when it rains, that's where it's going to go. Raised beds are great, like Mark's inspiring, as Jen said, are very great. And so the water settles there, the frost settles there, and it's slower to get warmed up in the spring when you're really anxious to get out and get your veggies in. And avoid windy locations. That's not always possible, but if you can build or plant a windbreak if need be. Don't plant too close, your veggies too close, as we heard so much about nutrients. Trees and shrubs will just form competition for your vegetables. And be sure you're close to a source of water. You don't want to be dragging a hose a mile away to water your plants. And if you don't find and it very often happens, if you find you don't have that suitable location, why not grow them in containers? There are lots of different sizes and shapes, and you can control everything like the water source, and you can check your soil, and you can make sure you can even move them if you need to move them into more light or sometimes less light when it gets that hot summer days with the sun shining right down on things. There's some things you have to kind of move out of the sun a bit. So that's very useful. And I plant a lot of, we plant a lot of container gardens because for that very reason that we haven't amended the soil very well in the yard. And this is not a very nice photo, but I just put it in because it's the flowers, that's what sesame turns out to be, which we didn't realize. We put the sesame seeds in, but we didn't know what they were looking like. So it was very pretty. And thank you. I used my Master Gardener handbook for a lot of this information, and also the extension of Virginia Tech Education has got the same useful information. So that's the link for that. Okay, happy gardening.